All right, so we have right here our latest unboxing, and I'm going to give you a little bit of background of what we're doing here. We are currently upgrading a little bit of our refurbishing equipment. Hence, we are trying out some new equipment that we are going to be trying out in the next month or two, and that's going to require setup, new setup tables and all that. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and do an unboxing here for everyone. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and cut the box open. Then we will get it into our table and show you what we are talking about here. What we have here is our debubble machine, and this is what comes with it. Your connecting cable, your hoses, which you're going to need, and it's going to bring another extra seal gasket. We'll talk about that later. And this plate is not a clipboard, so don't think this is a clipboard. This is just to help you get the iPads or the phone screens into the machine. But here it is. So now that we have it here, we will tell you it is very heavy. We will now get it onto our table and show you a little bit more about it. Okay, here it is, and this is the Nasan B3 Max machine. It is the latest machine that they have come up with when it comes to debubble. And this will do iPads and it will do phones. And it's got built-in double pumps. Basically, it's got a compressor built in, just like you see there. But you could also, upon ordering it, ask that they do not include the built-in compressor, so you can use your own standalone compressor with the machine, which is what we decided to do. So even though it's saying it's got the picture of the compressor, this machine itself does not have a compressor. But if you want to go that route, you can. We prefer to use our own compressor. With that in mind, let's go and take this plastic out of it, just so you guys can see a better view of it. So again, it is the B3 Max from Nasan. And then if you look at your controls, you can actually control the pressure on this machine. So you have your on off, and then your set. You can set the temperature and you can set the pressure. So you do have the little gauge there as well that will show you the pressure. So onto the side, first of all, let me show you how big it is so you get an idea. And again, we're measuring in inches. So if you're in another part of the world, you would have to convert to centimeters. So we have approximately 17.5 inches from metal to metal. Now you do want to add more because you have the drawer on this side. So that adds to it. And on the other side, you have the connectors for the hoses, as you can see there. Okay. So you got roughly, I would say, just guesstimate about 18.5, 19 inches when you start adding the little drawer on this side, and then the little connector there for the hose. And then from top to bottom, you're at approximately 12.5 inches. Okay, so it is a big machine, but it's designed not only to do phones, but also to do tablets. So getting a closer view of the opening, you do have the opening here, which is big enough, large enough for tablets, as we mentioned, and you do notice the seal there. So it was nice of them to include in the packaging an extra seal, because as you will know, if you're starting to do refurbishing, or if you have done refurbishing and trying to get back into it, that if you do have a leak with a debubble machine, the first thing that will cause the leak is the actual gasket or seal. Now, going back to that metal that looks like a clipboard, this metal is designed for you to put your device here and then just simply insert it. When you're done, you just grab here and pull it out. So if it's a smaller device like a phone or whatever, you can just put it in there, slide it in there, close it, lock it, and then when you're done, just grab that handle here and just pull it out. So it is very useful. Don't throw it away. Don't use it as a clipboard. I mean, you can use it as a clipboard if you want. Going on to the back side. So we have your switch here, which is your power switch. It's like a breaker to it because you do have your on and off switch here, but this is like the breaker on it. So if you want to just make sure it doesn't come on and want to make sure it stays off, like when you're closed or whatnot, just turn it off here instead, okay? Because if the power comes back on, you want to make sure that this breaker is off, just for safety purposes. And you also do have the connector for the hoses, and we will show you how it works if you've never connected the hoses before. It's basically a locking mechanism. So when you insert the hose, it locks automatically. It does not come out. The only way you can pull this hose out is if you press this little black portion in, and then it lets you pull it out. So you do have that function where you can, it's like a quick release. And if you notice with the hoses that they send you, it has an adapter here that changes the size because standard compressors are using the larger hoses. So you want to check the compressor that you're using or that you're going to purchase and make sure that it'll work on this hose. So very soon we're going to get a compressor come in. We may do a review on it and actually put it side by side with the machine so you get an idea. But this is why they include this adapter too. So that was kind of nice of them to include the hosing kit with the adapter already in it. They do have these plugs in as well, and I'll show you what they're for. So if you decide to buy the machine with the built-in compressor and you don't want to deal with an outside compressor and just use the one that the machine brings, you would have to put a plug in there, and this will seal it so that it'll only rely on the compressor inside. This is going to seal it from air leaking out this way. So if you see these inside your packaging, don't throw them out. That's what they're for, and they actually include a few of them just so you can use it that way. So, and then when you're not using the machine, it's good to put that plug in there just so you don't get any dust or dirt or debris in it. So this is a multi-purpose plug when you keep it in there. So just wanted to show that to you. So our final thoughts on the machine. We did put it on a scale, and it does weigh just under 22 pounds. And wait, I know what you're thinking, that 22 pounds is very heavy for this machine. Why does it weigh so much? Actually, when you look for a debubble machine, you want to make sure that it does have a good weight to it. And that's because the chamber where you're putting in your devices for debubble needs to be rock solid. And a good way that you can tell a machine that has good build and good quality is simply weigh it. Obviously, it needs to perform as well. So we haven't yet started working with this machine, but I can tell you just off the bat, putting it on a scale and weighing it at just under 22 pounds for a machine that does phones and tablets, this is a good build right here. So whether you want to start using it with a compressor standalone, which is the way that we are going to do it, and if you talk to expert refurbishers, they will tell you that the best way to use a debubble machine is to get a standalone, not one that's built into it. Because why? There's so much space that you have in here, you know, roughly 12, 13 inches and 18 inches, where you can fit a compressor that's going to help the machine work efficiently. When you have a standalone compressor where you have this on a table and you have the compressor underneath it, that's the better way to go. So that's the way we decided to do it. Once we ordered the machine, and we will post a link down there in the description for you to buy it, you can contact them and they will custom make it for you so that the compressor is not in it. You're not going to save a lot of money. You're actually going to make the company work by opening this up and taking the compressor. So I would consider it a wash, but they are happy to do that for you and not add any labor charge to it. So definitely do that if you want to have the machine function efficiently. Have a standalone compressor underneath your table or somewhere nearby that'll work with the machine. So hopefully in the near future, once we get our setup all done, tables and other equipment that we're getting, we will turn it on, make it work, and show you all the functions. or at least just show you the introductory functions of the buttons and all that. So until next time, please subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so, and check out our other videos as we have reviewed other machines for the cell phone repair industry. Thank you very much. Have a great day.